Hello and welcome NECA Capers. In today's video, I will be talking about Majo no Tabai Tabai, or Wandering Witch, the journey of Elena episodes 7 to 12. When she was young, Elena read a story about how Nike convinced the officials of a divided country to allow travelers to carve into the wall. Inspired by the book, little Elena wished to go to that country someday and carved her name on the wall. At the present, Saya is visiting the country. When she is asked by the officials about the new idea to make their country even better, she convinces the officials to allow the people in the country to carve into it as well. This idea, however, was accepted by the officials. When Elena arrives in the country, she discovers that the wall was already torn down due to being carved over and over by the people of the country. Unexpectedly, after the wall fell, the country that was originally divided now began to reunite. While Elena was a little disappointed, she realized that this was the best outcome for the country. She then picks out a piece of the wall that partially has Saya's message on it. In a village, an old man tells his grandchild the story of how the grape-throwing festival started. He reveals that the village was divided when a witch, which was Elena, showed up. Because their village could not compete with the neighboring village in producing quality wine, the village chief asked the witch to help stomp grapes. The witch was reluctant to do so until she was insulted by Rosemary, a famous poster girl from the neighboring village. Later, the chief and the witch found out that Rosemary was not the one who actually stomped the grapes. While the villagers were arguing, the witch drunkenly threw grapes at everyone. This eventually led to the festival's origin. Back in the present, it is revealed that the chief and Rosemary are married. Elena arrives in a country where dolls are very popular. While she is taking a break, Elena overhears another witch asking the townspeople if they have seen the Ripper. Just as she is about to leave, Elena is approached by the witch, who introduces herself as Sheila. Once she explains the situation, Sheila asks Elena to let her know if she finds out anything. As she is walking around, Elena comes across a doll shop. After turning down a request to take a free doll, she heads to an inn to get a sleep. The next morning, Elena finds out that her hair has been cut and suspects that this incident has something to do with the Reaper case that many people are talking about. During their investigation, Elena and Sheila learn of a secret auction. After dressing up and wearing masks as disguises, they went to the auction. When they see the doll that has Elena's hair, Elena damages it, causing the doll shopkeeper to reveal herself. When she admits that she is the Ripper, she is captured by Sheila and Elena. Once they go their separate ways, it is revealed that Sheila is Saya's mentor. When Saya learns what happened, she angrily confronts the shopkeeper. Finding herself out of money in the town of Rostov, Elena takes a job from a fellow witch named Estelle, who tells her about a friend named Selena. She lost her parents and was taken in by an abusive uncle until she went insane and murdered him, forcing Estelle to execute her. Estelle wants Elena's help in a time travel spell to go back in time and prevent the deaths of Selena's parents. Elena accepts, and the two successfully travel to the past. However, while warning Selena's parents, they are attacked by the killer, who is none other than Selena herself. She reveals that her parents abused her as well, and she never saw Estelle as a friend, prompting the latter to kill her again, for the second time. After returning to the present, it is revealed that Estelle gave up her memories of Selena to boost her magic, leaving Elena to despair about the situation and deeply traumatizing her. After ordering Saya to deliver a box to the United Magic Association branch in the town of Quinorts, Sheila prepares to go on an annual vacation with Fran. On their way, Sheila and Fran recall their youth as fellow apprentices of Nike. Back then, the two didn't get along together and frequently clashed until their master tasked them with a mission to apprehend the Curio Company, a band of robbers that terrorized Quinorts. Even though each one of them only takes this mission as a way to get rid of each other. Unfortunately, their continued clashing only caused them to get in each other's way, and they ended up getting captured. Agree that continuing to be hostile will not do any favor. Ultimately, the two put their differences aside and worked together to defeat the Curio Company. After completing the mission, they both graduate and officially became full-fledged witches. Back in the present, Sheila recognizes the box as having belonged to the Curio Company, and she rushes after Saya. Meanwhile, Elena arrives in Quinorts. Elena is in Quinorts, where she reads an article stating that the Curio Company is free after 20 years. Meanwhile, Saya arrives in the town where she encounters the leader, who unsuccessfully tries to steal the box. She then meets up with her younger sister Mina, who is working undercover. The leader later finds Elena, and she uses a spell that causes Elena and Saya to switch bodies. While inside Saya's body, Elena opens the box, which releases a love potion that spreads throughout the town. After they find each other, Elena and Saya apprehend members of the Curio Company to find the location of the leader. Once they confront her, she brags that there are more members in town that they have not captured. Just then, Fran and Sheila arrive to help restore order. The next day, Elena and Saya are back in their bodies. When Sheila, Saya, and Mina leave town, Elena and Fran have a conversation before they go their separate ways. Elena then decides to continue on her journey. Elena arrives in a country that claims it makes wishes come true. Once she heads inside, she notices that the locations are places she previously visited. When Elena goes to Murarose's castle, she learns there are many versions of herself. From the smart Elena, the greedy Elena, the dumb Elena, the Chunabu Elena, the gloomy Elena, and so on. The real Elena is then referred to as the protagonist Elena due to her lack of uniqueness. At a meeting, it is revealed that one of the Elenas has been attacking everyone. Shortly thereafter, the violent Elena shows up. When the real Elena wonders why the violent Elena is doing this, she admits that she wants everyone to experience the same pain she feels as she never got over what happened in Rostov. In episode 9, the fight broke between the real Elena and the violent Elena. Because both of them are the same person, the battle was won by nobody and ended in a stalemate. Following the exhausting battle, the real Elena makes peace with the violent Elena and understands each other. When they return to the castle, the Elenas decide to turn their diaries into a book titled The Wandering Witch. The next day, Elena woke up in a wide meadow, and everything had returned to normal. Afterward, Elena is in another country when she bumps into a girl named Amnesia, and they accidentally switch their books in the process. Elena reveals that she and Amnesia will travel together in the future, so that's the end of it. What do you think about the story? And what video should I do next? Leave a like and comment below. That being said, see you later in the next video.